Scenic Corner Brook in Newfoundland and Labrador. Beautiful city on the west coast of the island. That is where the Under 14 Boys Atlantic Soccer Championships been taking place over the last 4 days. This is Gold Medal Sunday as we come down to the Wellington Street Soccer Complex, getting set for the gold medal game between Newfoundland and Labrador and New Brunswick. New Brunswick a few moments ago won the Under 13 title. They'll try and make it a clean sweep. Newfoundland and Labrador, of course, will try and keep the gold medal right here in Newfoundland and Labrador. Pleased to bring you these championships here on 5TV1. My name is George Scott. We've been here all week with our webcast, carrying all the round-robin games. Glad to bring you the gold medal games on 5TV1. And we welcome you on this Sunday morning from wherever you are watching today, whether it's in the Atlantic region or beyond. I know we have a lot of folks who like to watch the game, relatives far-flung around the globe, different players. Should be an interesting matchup. These two teams played to a 0-0 draw in the round robin, so we know it's an evenly matched competition. New Brunswick opened their round robin, defeating Nova Scotia 2-1, and then 3-1 over Prince Edward Island, then that 0-0 draw with Newfoundland and Labrador. For Newfoundland and Labrador, their two victories, 1-0 over Prince Edward Island, 3-0 over Nova Scotia, so they both come in with identical 2 wins, 1 draw record, and as I say, they drew 0-0 against each other. Interesting, that was the same situation we had between New Brunswick and Nova Scotia in the Under 13. Two teams that drew 0-0 in the round robin, but the championship game won by New Brunswick 4-1. Teams taking the field. Newfoundland and Labrador in the light blue, white shorts. New Brunswick in the wine-colored tops, black shorts and socks. Goalkeepers for this game today for Newfoundland and Labrador, starting in goal, number 18, Daniel Hanlon, and in goal for New Brunswick, Ryan Johnson. And we have kickoff. First ball to New Brunswick. Ali Zidane, Micah Windsor, Patrick Hurley. Windsor following up on it, pushed ahead, offside flag. In a little too quickly, Alexandra Nunes. So the kick will go to, well, actually, flag went up, but it's going to go over to Newfoundland and Labrador. The referee had called a foul prior to the offside. So Colby Stephen will take the free kick for Newfoundland and Labrador. Stephen, low into the penalty area, off of Windsor. Hurley trying to get in there, it's cleared away by New Brunswick. Ball stays in play down along the goal line. Nunes, his cross high in the air, comes down and cleared away by Tristan Burnham of New Brunswick. Matthew LaPierre couldn't catch up to it on the left side for New Brunswick. He'll stay with Newfoundland and Labrador. Ball went out. It'll go over to New Brunswick. Again, a perfect day for a game of soccer here in Corner Brook. Temperature right around 20 degrees. Humidity heads it up around 23 or 24 on the Humidex. Slightly overcast. It was bright sunshine for our earlier game this morning. It's clouded over a little bit. They are expecting some rain to move into the area this afternoon. Not expected to hit us during game time, but that's the forecast. We'll see what actually happens. We had heavy rains yesterday morning. Sunshine and high winds the first 2 days. But overall, pretty good 4 days for this soccer competition. Burnham will clear it into touch. It'll be a throw-in for Newfoundland and Labrador. Ben James will take the throw-in. First touch Burnham for New Brunswick. Hurley trying to get to it. The Brunswick player goes down. Hurley comes up with the ball. Hurley, his cross. Peels back towards the top of the penalty area. Kept in by Newfoundland and Labrador. Nunes with a shot towards goal. May have been going wide. Johnson has it. Savoy into the middle to Griffin Cassidy. Back to Gould. Then over to Hardwick, and Hardwick up through the middle. Good ball found Anderson Peters. Peters looking for LaPierre on the left side. LaPierre able to hold it in. No. Looked from here like it may have stayed in, but the flag had gone up. Throw in Newfoundland and Labrador. And the ball goes out. This time it'll go over. Rather, it'll stay with Newfoundland and Labrador. Ali Zidane. Played ahead by Janssen of New Brunswick. Stepping in there was Colby Stephen. He'll clear it out. Throw in for New Brunswick. Janssen. Back to Gould. That's intercepted by Hurley of Newfoundland and Labrador. To the middle, they're looking for Windsor. Micah Windsor. Back to Zidane. Got it up ahead to Brandon Toop. He was dispossessed. The ball goes out. It'll stay with New Brunswick. A lot of fans from Newfoundland and Labrador to our right. Game being played in their home province. Also a nice contingent here from New Brunswick, as there was throughout the week from Prince Edward Island and Nova Scotia as well. As mentioned earlier today, a lot of family and friends made the trip. Made for good atmosphere here at Wellington Soccer Complex. Off of Savoy, that'll go over the goal line for a goal kick for Newfoundland and Labrador. Daniel Hanlon, the keeper for Newfoundland and Labrador, take the goal kick. Ryan Kenny up ahead for Hurley. He lost it. Janssen. Back to Hardwick. Gould. Into the middle. Janssen. Brody Hardwick. Hardwick has it again. To Gould. Good possession by New Brunswick. Nunes stepped into that. Ball in the air and played down the field. Clark misplayed it. New Brunswick has it. They're looking for Usda. Jude Usda plays it through, but nobody there. Hanlon has it. Hanlon. Over to Exley. Taken away by New Brunswick. Gould. Up to Usda. Play on. Gould. Cutting between two Newfoundland and Labrador players. LaPierre. Offside. Hanlon. Well down the field. Good ball. Trying to run onto it is Taj Exley. Exley will get there first. His try for goal sails a little high. Great kick. The keeper, Hanlon. Exley able to run onto it and just put it a little bit high. Ryan Johnson, the keeper for New Brunswick. To Hardwick, turns away from Exley. The middle, they were looking for Janssen. Zidane. Back to Stephen. Clark. Up through the middle. Windsor. Chipping it on. Offside flag has gone up on the far side. Noon's in a little bit early here on the left side of the field for Newfoundland and Labrador. It's put out by Newfoundland and Labrador. Throw in for New Brunswick. Hardwick, take it away from him, but it'll go out of play off of Taj Exley. Again, it'll be a throw in for New Brunswick. No scores. We approach the 9-minute mark here of the first half. Gold medal game in the under 14 competition for the Atlantic provinces. Windsor played it across, but right to Jude Usda of New Brunswick. Looking for Peters, Anderson Peters for New Brunswick. Ball will come towards the sideline, kept in. Noons surrounded by a couple of New Brunswick players. They'll come up with the ball, then turn it over. Windsor. To the middle for Toop. Up ahead for Noons. Noons trying to get to it. Closing very quickly was Gould. It went off of Noons. It'll be a goal kick for New Brunswick. Johnson out towards midfield, headed down by Kenny. Kenny had his hand in the back of Usda of New Brunswick, so kick given to New Brunswick. Gould likes to go back to Hardwick. Ball high in the air. Peters was trying to get under it. Zidane got first touch in. Hurley across for Exley. Taj Exley. Zidane to the middle. Micah Windsor. Windsor towards goal from well out. Nobody able to run onto it. It comes right to the keeper, Johnson. To Hardwick. Cassidy. Usda. Taken away. Ryan Kenny. Janssen. Peters. Good ball on the left side. LaPierre, if he can get to it, but a little bit too much on it. The ball goes out. LaPierre did have a little bit of room on that left side. It was a good idea. Just failed in the execution. Stephen. Go back to Hanlon. Ahead for Noons. Getting back Gould. He'll play it back to the keeper. Ball bouncing. Gould will clear it out to midfield. Zidane waiting for it there. Heads it on Windsor. Controlled by Windsor. Savoy got in the way of that. Hurley has it. Toop actually making a run on the right side. Exley. Watched by Hardwick. Back to Toop. And taken away. Peters. Long ball up the middle. Looking for Rail. Rail to LaPierre. LaPierre with a run down the left side. That goes out. It'll be a throw-in for New Brunswick. Burnham will take the throw-in for New Brunswick. Tristan Burnham. That's headed out. Went off of Griffin Cassidy, so throw in for Newfoundland and Labrador. Be sure to join TV1 Scott Squires and CTV Cyril Lunny on the Sideline Scoop each Monday at 8:40 a.m. Atlantic, 9:10 a.m. Newfoundland time. Get up to date on Bella Line 5 TV1's local sports coverage with Scott and Cyril. That's the Sideline Scoop, Mondays, only on CTV Morning Live Atlantic. Used a foul call right at the edge of the penalty area. So an opportunity here for New Brunswick. This kick will be just maybe a meter outside the penalty area. So a great opportunity for New Brunswick here. Just under 14 minutes gone in the first half. Peters lining up to take it. Anderson Peters. Five-man wall for Newfoundland and Labrador. Peters steps into it. Wall does its job as the kick went right into the defenders. He's back out to Gould. And cleared away by James. New Brunswick will take the throw in for Janssen. That was headed away. Peters has it. All the way back to Johnson. Johnson up through the middle. Zidane looking for Windsor. Went off Savoy, and that will be a handball. Stephen. He's got a very strong leg. He will take all these kicks for Newfoundland and Labrador. Into the penalty area. Ball bounces around, cleared away by Judah. Rail has it. Rail flicks it out towards midfield and forcing Clark back deep in his own end. He's being pressured by Peters. Clark up ahead, used it. Taken away by Kenny. Play on. Janssen. Throw in for New Brunswick. Savoy with the throw in. Right to Cassidy. Then it's headed and out. It'll be another throw in for New Brunswick. Not a whole lot to choose between these two teams yet. I said they played 2 0-0 draw in the round robin, and so far close quarters again in this one. Savoy will take the throw in. Isaac Savoy. Stephen will clear it. Gould turning. Hurley watching him. Gould stepping up. Gould keeps going. Kyle Gould for New Brunswick. Kick given to New Brunswick. Kyle Gould to take it. to the top of the penalty area. It's loose in there. Used trying to get in. Ball bounces high. Used on it. Jude Used towards the sideline. Savoy. It will belong to Newfoundland and Labrador. Saying last touch by Isaac Savoy. Ali Zidane. Toop. Up to Exley. Watched by Peters. Ball comes to Ben James. James up ahead. Hurley turns. Patrick Hurley pushing it forward. He goes down. Again, the referee, play on. Ball goes out. Goal kick for New Brunswick. Johnson. First touch, Zidane. Nunes. Windsor pushes his man down, and the referee comes over. Just the kick given to New Brunswick. Kyle Gould to take it. Hardwick played it over. Mishandled on the left side. It'll turn over to Newfoundland and Labrador and the throw-in. Exley taken by Hardwick and off of Exley and out. Throw-in again to New Brunswick. Burnham to throw in for New Brunswick. Headed on by Peters, but taken there by Zidane. Windsor stopped by Gould. Windsor's got it again. That was Cassidy who stopped that first attempt by Windsor to push the ball forward. Ahead, Rail. Jason Rail for New Brunswick. Couldn't get the ball to settle. Toop. Again, play back and forth at midfield. Handball. It'll go over to Newfoundland and Labrador. Stephen will take it. Colby Stephen. And he drives it to the front of the penalty area. Nunes off of Savoy. Nunes with a push on Savoy. Kick given to New Brunswick. Gould will take this for New Brunswick. Back to Hardwick. To Gould. Cassidy. And it's given away. A loose pass, but taken back by Janssen to Peters. That will go out of play on the far side. It'll be a throw-in for Newfoundland and Labrador. Watch Inside AUS for a look at what makes Atlantic University sport the ultimate student-athlete experience. Inside AUS is available to 5 customers in Atlantic Canada on channels 1 and 401 and at bellalliant.ca/TV1. 5 TV1 powered by Bell Alliant. Taking a while to get this throw-in done. It will be for Newfoundland and Labrador. Hurley missed it. Hardwick. But midfield headed on a little further. Stephen got a leg in there. There was a push in the back. Kick will go to New Brunswick. Not a whole lot of room for either team to operate through the first 22 minutes. Closely contested. Ball rolls all the way down to Hanlon. He's got it. High in the air.